Not long ago, something interesting came up when I was surfing around on Amazon. Something called Day One Editions was looking for backers for some potential new Amazon products. Two of the products caught my eye. Amazon was looking for people to fund a smart sticky note printer, a smart Alexa-enabled cuckoo clock, and a smart nutrition scale, so I immediately signed up for the clock and the printer. I'm Erin from TechGadgetsCanada.com, and Amazon Day One Editions is a program where new limited release products from Amazon are featured on Amazon.com. You can read about the product idea on the site and then essentially put yourself down to buy one if it ends up getting enough backers and getting made. Like other crowd-funded products out there, a select number of customers can opt into the product as sort of an early release exclusive. If an item doesn't reach the pre-order goal within 30 days, Amazon just doesn't build the product and you don't pay for it. You can check the status of your item throughout the process, and Amazon will give you an estimated shipping date if the product does meet that pre-order goal. You can also cancel your order at any time before it gets shipped. Within 30 days, Amazon customers had made their choices. The cuckoo clock was not going forward, but the sticky note printer was. Fast forward about 7 months, and the printer finally shipped, arriving at my door in a nondescript Amazon Day One Editions box. My initial impressions were kind of a letdown. I was expecting this printer to be a wondrous gizmo that would help me feel like part of the Amazon crowdfunding community. Instead, I was kind of left with the impression I'd ordered a white label product that could have just as easily come off the shelf from any old place. The design is super basic, plain, unadorned, and kind of sad. No Amazon logo, no Day One Editions emblem to make it feel special. Let's get to what this device can do. The smart sticky note printer here will pair up to a newer compatible Echo device using Wi-Fi. It also comes with one roll, and maybe I can give you a quick look in here. One roll of yellow sticky paper. This printer is a thermal printer, meaning you won't need to buy ink for it. You can also order replacement paper rolls in blue, pink, white, and yellow. Setting this printer up was kind of the next disappointment. Loading the paper roll was easy enough. It just essentially drops in, but initially the printer did not want to connect. You're supposed to be able to say, "Hey, A-Lady, discover my printer," but you won't necessarily find it. It took me a few tries and unplugging and plugging it back in again for it to finally connect and get to work. Now, even worse is after each unsuccessful setup attempt, the printer was printing out reams of instructions on how to properly set up the printer. So in no time, about a third of my single paper roll that it came with was kind of wasted. Some folks have been seeing a weird duplication issue where the Alexa app will show two entries for my printer in the devices list, one with a Wi-Fi icon and your name, which will show as offline, and that one you can ignore, by the way, and one with a printer icon, and that should be the printer you want to connect to. Amazon says this is a known issue that it will address in a future software update for Echo devices. Print a Sudoku puzzle. Eventually, I got things working and printed out a couple of test notes. The printer will print a simple reminder for you. If you say, "Hey A, print a note," then she'll ask what the note should say. When you finish talking, out it comes. If you want to print checklists for to-dos, groceries, and tasks, first you need to create and name a list. You'll create your list by saying, "Hey, A-Lady, create a list." She'll ask you to name the list, and then you can use that name to ask her to print. Now, shopping or to-do lists will print with a little checkbox beside each item too, which is kind of handy if you're heading out. Printing lists, though, turned out to be hard for me. I had a lady make me a list called December videos of videos I needed to do this month. While I was able to create that list and add to the list, no matter what I said or how I phrased it, she would not send the list to the printer. Print my December videos list.
I'm sorry, but I can only shop in the primary language associated with your Amazon account.
I tried with the pre-existing grocery lists. That one seemed to work, but the fact that I couldn't get the printer to print my custom lists, only the included options like to-do or grocery list, is beyond frustrating. The notes print out about the size of a standard post-it note unless you're printing a long grocery list, but the paper is a lot thinner and lighter. Each note prints with the time and date plus the Amazon Smile logo at the bottom, and there's my special mark, I guess. The paper has a glossy finish, which isn't conducive to pencil or some ink pens, but it seems to work well for Sharpie marker pens should you want to amend your notes. While the printing seems clear and legible, if maybe a bit on the faint side, not sure what you guys can see there, you've got to have your note content in mind before you ask for it to be printed, since Alexa will only listen for so long. Amazon says the notes are sticky along all four edges, making them potentially more long-lasting than traditional Post-its. The notes will indeed stick quite well to some very smooth surfaces and can be repositioned too. Even so, they didn't seem to adhere well after a few hours. Other surfaces, particularly wood, often saw the notes pop right off and curl up, making them pretty much useless as stick-in-place reminders. Refill paper rolls, by the way, do come in 3 packs for about $20, which also seems kind of pricey for what you're getting. Print a note. If you're a Post-it note nerd like me, you should know that you're basically stuck, by the way, with one color until the roll is out. Now, it is possible to swap the rolls in and out. It's an extra step, and it's going to take you some additional time every time you want to print a note if you want multiple different colors. And at that point, you may as well just be writing it down on a piece of paper or Post-it. Overall, I'm pretty disappointed with this printer and my day one editions experience. The printer was not easy to set up, and printing some things like custom notes was finicky, and I blew most of my single roll of paper just getting the darn thing to work. While printing single notes seemed to work okay, I don't think this printer is versatile enough to be worth the price, and the novelty wears off pretty quickly, even for a Post-it lover like me. I'm going to be sending this printer back to Amazon. While I love the idea, the execution leaves a lot to be desired. Maybe some firmware updates will help in the future. The printer sold for about $90, and it actually seems to be no longer available. I am still holding out, though, for the cuckoo clock. And there's now a new crop of Day One Editions projects, which actually seem really enticing. So while once bitten should probably mean twice shy, I have signed up for the Astro autonomous robot and the Ring flying home security camera. But it's not for me, really. I'm doing this for you guys. If you want to read this review or reference any of what I've talked about, head over to techgadgetscanada.com, where I've got a full write-up. There you can ask me any questions you have about this device. You can also post them here in comments below. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Erin. Until the next time, you can find me on either Twitter or Instagram. I'm at Erin LYYC. You can also always reach me through Facebook at facebook.com/techgadgetscanada.